Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valerie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and this is your home of burning and learning. And I'm joined with hubby.
Okay.
Today is our final details. I got some work done on this, and I'm going to get the camera out of my face in a minute. I just want you to see more of it, even though there we go. There's more down here. Here we go. So I got everything filled in last week. Whew, that was a lot. So what we were going to do first, and I wanted to talk about, was getting the graphite off the wood. It's all erased, but there's still little pieces, plus the eraser leaves kind of a film on the wood. So we are going to take our denatured alcohol, there we go, and we are going to take a paper towel, and we're just going to dip it in there, and then we are going to wipe the panel. And I'll get this camera out of my face. I probably should also get a pin ready. I'm trying to figure out what area we're going to focus on. I think we'll probably focus down here on the water for now, since we didn't spend a whole lot of time doing that before. I think one live. So we're going to wipe it off, get all the graphite off. This will also show us how dark the burning and the wood is going to go when I go to varnish it. So this gives me a lot of information, so we can see some grime coming off. Part of that is a little bit of carbon, but because I burn on lower temperatures, I don't get a whole lot of carbon coming off on my tips in general. And I am going with the grain, but going all over the place. Making sure.
So, if you're burning hotter and darker, would you have to worry about smearing the carbon around?
Well, in doing this, it will wipe the carbon off, but yes, you can smear the carbon into the grain. You see, I've got a little register mark that I had up here at the top, which you can't see. I'll spin the board. Here we go. I had a little register mark so that I knew where to lay my pattern. I'm going to go ahead and take that off now because we don't need it. And that was just so I could make sure everything was where I wanted it.
Real quick, we got Spence, Beryl, and Ro, Karen.
Hello! Beryl, Spence, Karen, Andrea. Hopefully more will come lurking. See, the thing is, Monday nights lives have even less people, which is odd since people in the U.S. are off.
Yeah. But they're off today?
Well, most are.
Oh, in the evening.
Yeah. But not everybody. Alrighty. So even the wood will feel like softer, and I think that has a lot to do with getting all of the eraser grime film off of the wood. Alrighty. So let that dry for a second, and I think I've been having good luck with the large ball tip, large spoon on darkening things. So I think we're gonna go in now, because I've burned areas, is gonna require a higher heat. So I'm at 3.5, gonna start with the large spoon shader. Get it down here, get the camera out of my face, and I want to start darkening up this area here, because in my reference the water is darker where it's running, so I want this darker here, and then also the banks are going to have to go darker. Let's see here, we'll just focus on that for now, because if not I'll be all over the place. Okay, so we'll do that. Ooh, I gotta turn the camera a little bit. There we go. How's that, everybody? Don't want to make anybody seasick. Alrighty. So, I'm going to touch down. I'm going to spin my chair too. I'm going to touch down in a place that's already been kind of burned darker in order to pull some heat from my pen for just a second. And then for the water, I've been doing zigzags, going back and forth, so it can kind of give us that wave. But I need to go up and down versus back and forth. I need to go in the direction the water is flowing. And I can kind of just bounce around. I'm not trying to get anything perfect because water is not perfect, and we will be doing more of that tomorrow with the bear. So we're starting with the bear. And I can go even hotter, but because I don't want the water too dark, I don't want it as dark as over here. So this area can go darker. Get my lines a little off. You see, I'm trying to make sure I follow the direction the water is going. And if I kind of overlap, we kind of get our waves.
I thought you said you were using a ball tip.
I'm sorry, I kept saying ball tip, but it's a spoon.
Oh,
it's a large spoon.
I thought maybe you switched out when I wasn't looking.
No, it's a large spoon.
Okay.
Okay, so the water actually shifts directions here because we're going around. So we need to make sure we follow that. And right now it's still going to look so light. We also have areas that I didn't get in here. And I'm not being perfect with it. I'm just trying to make sure I have areas that are darker because maybe it's running smoother when it runs over rocks and you get the waves. You see more white.
You've done a good job with it. Like one of the things that I had to learn growing up, because we lived around rivers all the time, was how to read water. And
I am a Cancer.
You've done a really good job with that, so I can see the different aspects of and features of the water, where it's shallow and where it's deep and where the current is. So it's really good.
Well, thank you. Some of this will not be burned at all. We'll keep it unburned. And remember, where it's curving, we may have some more rocks underneath, so we have to pay attention to how the water is hitting that. And I don't know how much is showing up on camera.
It's pretty clear.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you could see the actual change in the burn.
A little bit.
Because it's light. Let's see, it looks like I still have some graphite right there, even though it's maybe grain. What did I do with my paper towel? There it is. So my paper towel is still a little wet from the denatured alcohol. I'll just use that to wipe and I'll hit a different area. But following the direction of the water and how it moves is what's going to make it feel more real.
Stephen Bunch is here.
Hey, Stephen.
He says, hello, everybody.
Hello. Alright. You see, in doing this stuff darker, it definitely shows I need to go around here darker. And not being... Let's see.
I like the toasties. Like you show me, but sometimes I don't have my glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is the first time I've really scrutinized it. Like you've shown me progress, and I've appreciated that progress. But I think I appreciate it even more now. Like you've done a really good job.
Yeah, it still has a long way to go for me to be happy with it. If you're burning it and if you're happy with your Grand Canyon, I'm really glad. Right now, they're just, as soon as I put more darks in, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to darken it.
I do.
You know, here's what you do. You just take a picture of it, and then you just adjust the contrast.
Well, I do that so I can see how much more I'd like it.
You're like, done.
Yeah, until somebody wants to buy it and it doesn't look the same. That's why.
Yeah, you send it with a pair of sunglasses. Only look at it with these.
Then it'll be correct.
Are these 3D? Yes. That is what they are.
Alrighty. So we've got areas that are just not going to have burns because it's where light is hitting the water.
Oh, I guess Steven just got his burner.
Yay!
I don't remember which burner he got.
I don't remember. I think he may have bought an Optima, but I'm not sure. There's so many people I try to keep up with. Let's see here. So it'll be a back and forth, more and more. This still needs to go darker, but I kind of do want to skip around so we can show, so I can show when you go dark the difference. Alrighty, so I'm actually going to bump up to 4 because we are going to head off to the banks right here to darken those up. And see, even with, I can keep this same pen and just go in circles. It actually will give kind of a faint feeling of more brush down there. So
Optima. Optima.
Let's see, let's get this darker.
Yeah, I'm so tired. You said that we were going to go to the bank, and I was like, after the stream? What are we going to the bank for?
We're going to this bank. Put it in. Make sure we're going in the right direction. So as I darken it, should hopefully start seeing a difference. Now this stays lighter because this is more of a sandy, rocky area. And I'm just scrumbling over it with my pen, and I'm just going fast so I can control how dark it goes. And the swirls give us the illusion of more brush without having to sit there and constantly put every little one in. But all this definitely needs to go darker. It's just laying it in. Stay focused. Stay focused.
I am.
No, I'm talking to me.
Oh, sorry. I was zoning out a little bit.
Oh, I think you're staying focused.
Well, I was thinking about the word bank. You know, like banks to the river, but then why is it the same as a bank? Because that's where you go to deposit your money. It's not like anything gets deposited on the, or does it? This stuff gets deposited on the side of a river.
Yes, it
It's
does.
called a bank.
Yeah. And he woke up.
I just made a fact.
You did. You did. Alright. So we need to make sure we pay attention to how dark it goes as we go further from the camera. Let's get over here on the other side, and then we will find someplace else to darken. 'Cause I just want to, I'm going to bounce around so we can see. And even the areas that I'm already touching down, they're probably going to still go darker. I just want to show the difference of building up your darks instead of going straight in dark.
Yeah. Well, it does allow you to add more nuance as opposed to committing right away.
Yeah.
And then not being able to go back if you need to. So. That's really important. That's important in any art, I think. Like, I used to go really dark on a lot of my work, and a lot of times I ended up with really, really dark shadow areas that didn't need to be that dark.
Well, there needs to be nuance.
You can always repaint, but it's better if you adjust things slowly, I think, even in painting.
Wood, light hits through wood differently.
Yeah. Well, there's a little prismatic effect.
There is, and when I hold it differently, you can see.
Which adds to the charm of it, you know, the quality of it. Steven wants to know what size spoon shader that is.
This is the large.
The large.
I don't remember the numbers. I wish Pat wouldn't use the numbers because I know it's easier for him, but when people ask me, it's hard.
Well, I know, but then they just go to Pat and they say, hey, I need a large spoon shader.
Yeah.
And he'll say
The number.
Whatever number it is.
They'll go, yeah, okay, that one.
The
We go higher.
32 turbo.
Alright, I just bumped up to 4.5 because, like I said, this is already a burned area. So it's going to require more heat. But because of how I hold my pen, I'm not going to have an issue with the pen heating up. What I mean is holding it like this, the cord sits on top of the pen, and it protects my hand. Let's see here. And see, when we darken this stuff up, that'll look lighter. I do need more brush in here. And see, I didn't even draw the line for the trail. It's just a matter of watching where I burned. And it might not be exact, and I can actually make it thinner.
So you created the trail.
Well, no, the trail is there.
By not creating it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Whereas the trail in real life is made by constant wear and tear, you made the trail by wearing the things around it and causing it to appear.
Yep.
Oh my god, I'm so tired.
You are. He hasn't been sleeping very well lately. So, don't mind him.
But I'm having profound thoughts. Right? They're
Sleep
profound, right?
Yeah, yes, love. They're profound.
Thank you. I knew they were.
They're profound. Let's see here. We still need to go darker. Let me actually switch pens so I can go faster. Let's see here. What pen do I want? What pen do I want? Well, I do want to put in more brush. So I'm going to go with my large ball tip. And I'm going to keep it at the same heat because I do need to put more brush in here.
Okay.
And I can still darken up areas with the ball tip. It'll just be smaller strokes.
So with your adjusting, how much longer? I mean, I know this is the last live. But...
This is the last live, but I still need to darken all this. I need to darken this a little bit. I gotta darken the line back here where there's a cloud sitting on the ridge. So I gotta darken all that. I need to soften up these lines, but then put them back in. Good question. I'm thinking how long. Probably at least another 10 hours.
Wow.
For me to be happy with it. And I'm just tapping in and kind of pushing up on the pen because we don't see the detail here. We need to have it. I'm letting the pen do the work.
If you go up any further, like an inch or two, you'll start to be off of the camera.
Oh, okay. Do that. Thank you. He did his job, guys.
I know, I did my job. Did my job.
Good job. But on doing this, I still need to follow how the foliage goes down the side. I'm going to hit some places darker. Then I can even go in here and go a little darker and tap in because there's going to be different values within it. I'm just filling out. So it'll be a back and forth on that. And then this is a little closer. So I can go kind of like, I'm just going up and down like grasses.
It's Teresa is here.
Hey, Teresa. I'm kind of doing different levels. Different shapes, kind of go up. I can also use a skew for this, though. This is less grassy and more along the edge, just a broken edge. Bring it down. Let's see, this is darker, so I'm just gonna do my ovals and fill it in. I need to pull back because my lip is hitting the camera and it makes it itch.
Yeah.
See, I do have a photo before, so I was thinking, oops, did I do a... I had to for the thumbnail, so that I can see the difference.
Alright, not you.
It's not you, it's me. Or is
it's definitely me. It's definitely me.
That's not what I said, though.
What did you say?
I said, it's not you, it's me. You said yes.
Oh. No.
Alright, let's get this in here. We have a little, like where people have walked down and animals have walked down. They're very small trails. So we'll just kind of make it look like they're there without.
That's magic.
What's that?
Making something look like it's there without making it there.
Yeah. Alright. So we have more detail in the front. Now I did want to hit the tree because we didn't talk too much about the tree.
What tree?
There's a little bitty tree here. The thing is we do have darker leaves. So we're going to get those in there. That way it looks like there's the depth. There's multiple layers.
Right.
So we need to have. And with the tree, I just use the 18S, the small sphere shader, and use the tip to tap in, like when I'm doing wall tip. And that gave me my foliage without trying to sit here and draw everything.
Oh, that's cool.
This is something that's more in the front of the piece, so there we go, fill that in. Let's see here, next place. I'm just bouncing around so we can see the difference on a bunch of stuff at once. Where do they want me to go next? Because I have to...
I don't know.
I'm not sure what they want.
Where you have about 2 minutes to the end of this tree.
Already? Ugh. See, the 30 minutes, though I know it makes it easier for people to watch.
It does go fast.
It goes so fast. So I'll just wait and see. Tomorrow we start the bear. I've already posted the photo in the group. If you're not a part of the group, the photo is just for them. Thanks to Burl. It's an awesome photo that we spent hours trying to decide what would work for everybody and how much people would learn from what. And she let me adjust it and crop things out. Only because there's like a giant dead tree next to the bear. But he's so cute. And it's going to be a great practice on water. Dripping water and river water. Plus fur. We wanted to make sure there was an interesting matted fur pattern from where the bear is wet. Since he's sitting in there. So we wanted something that was interesting.
Well, he's got wet fur and dry fur, doesn't he? Or
Yeah.
is he just
Well, it's not like dry fur, but it is.
It's not soaked.
It's not soaked. He has soaked fur.
And Steven says, very cool bear.
Yeah, it is.
Wet fur, says Steven.
Yeah, it's wet fur, but there is some like where fur is drying and it's kind of together, but it's yeah, that's there too. That's there too. All right. Let's go up the river a little bit.
Well, does chat have any questions?
Oh no, everybody's quiet.
They're watching. They're intent. Watching what you do.
Now, luckily, I'm at a point now that I won't feel as guilty putting this aside to work on the bear.
Yeah.
Because it's all filled in.
So you can just come back and work on it?
I can just, yeah. And I won't feel rushed with it. Because sometimes I feel guilty moving on to another piece. So I've got a stack behind me. Especially with these community projects. I do need to darken this line here. And separate. Because we've got a line of brush. Then we have the bank. And then we have the shadow. And I've got... It's a little lighter for the bank. In the middle. So I need to separate it. That's what the darks do. And then I can darken shadow. It's not a shadow. It is the reflection of the trees that are along the bank.
Steven says he's looking forward to the bear, but he needs to finish his dragon. He's enjoying doing that.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. They all kind of bounce off of each other. And I think that also goes to show that no matter the subject, you can transfer information. It all starts working out the same.
And the more stuff that you do, it's practicing your technique to achieve different effects.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes part of your language that you can communicate with the pen. And so it gives you more words, more vocabulary.
It also helps that if you look at something you want to do, you feel a little overwhelmed. You're like, okay, but I did this here, so I know I can do this. And then I did that over there, so I know I can do that.
Burl's got her wood ready, but her printer's acting up, so she hasn't started the pattern yet.
I started making my pattern, and I was drawing on one layer in Photoshop, doing great. And I had moved down to click off the photo layer so I could see how the pattern was looking. Not realizing I also activated that layer, so I drew the rest of the bear's head on the photo. Didn't realize it. Kind of I had to go back, redraw those lines on my drawing layer. Kind of like when if you've ever accidentally taken graphite paper and had it flip the wrong way and you started transferring your pattern. And then you left to check, and you're like, where's my lines? And then you look at the back of the pattern, and you're like, ah, there they are. Same difference. So I'd be done with the bear part.
So, Teresa says she needs a bigger space for her projects. But
I need a bigger studio.
Yeah. But she's got a storm going on there, so she's buffering. Apparently Burl is buffering as well. We have not been buffering here.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything, so...
I just wanted to get this darker so you could see what these darks really do.
Yeah. They help.
They do. They help a lot. Alright. Let's back it out. Now, I bounced around, and I don't know if you'll remember what it looked like before. Things still need to go darker.
It looks good though. I like it a lot.
See, this needs to separate from this part. I've already got that separated. The water still definitely needs to go darker here. And see, and this is the part where you learn to critique your own piece while you're burning, and it'll help for your brain to see what needs to change without you attacking yourself. Let's see here. There's no reason to attack yourself. It needs more. But you can definitely see the difference in the reflection there.
Yeah.
It's separated. That needs to go darker. All of this needs to go darker. I didn't even touch this. I'm not even looking at that. That definitely needs to go darker.
Time.
Yeah, it's just going to be time. The grass was actually... Okay, the camera's going to get over me. There we go. The grass... I did the same technique I showed you guys with the grass and the rocks.
Yeah.
So even when you look up close, it looks like rocks as a whole. You put it down. I'm actually pretty happy with that.
That looks really good.
Our river's off. There we go. There we go. So yeah, all this needs to go darker, 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 darker. I need to finish filling that in. Darker. Some darker here. See, I gotta separate this right here from that. Maybe. Yeah. So, but the wood's cleaned off. The graphite's off. So now it's just a matter of adjusting.
Yeah.
Everything is where I want it, so I'll just be... I need to work on the trail a little better there. Alright, do we have any final questions? Because we will not be visiting this one again.
No, I don't see any.
So we shall see. We shall see. Alrighty. So tomorrow is the bear. I'm going to start with the eye of the bear because that's where I always start. What else? What else? What else?
I'm going to try and get some sleep.
Yeah, you need to try and get some sleep. Yes. Yes, this definitely needs dark. So I'm actually pretty happy with how the river,
Really
looking
good.
on the camera, is going.
Looks really good. You gotta tell them something.
I do need to tell them something. And I will tell them something. So tomorrow, Bear, I thought I was doing an oval. Can you grab that piece of wood behind you right there? I need a hand sand going on the top, yeah. But I've decided our water bear is going to go on this piece of basswood. I like the how the moss is still green on the edge, even though it's kiln drying. I like how it did that, so I'm going to use this one instead of the ones I ordered.
The water bear?
Well, the bear's in the water.
Yeah. You know those bears, they had those water bears, they had a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
It was called Water Burger.
I need to put him to bed early tonight. Alrighty. Yes, you did it. You did it. And what do we say? Everybody together?
Thank you.
Don't forget,
Oh.
you are awesome. You can do this. You're a pyro artist. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. And we will see you in the morning. Bye. Water bear.